Okay. Hello TikTok, hello YouTube. All right, so what are we going to do today? I might paint up all these parts first, and then these should be done. These ones, they're done. I need a pile of doll parts. All right, so I'm going to do a little bit of work on some art dolls today. I've got multiple art dolls. Hey Kirsten, how are you? These ones are pretty much good to go. I'll add the claws on later. These are good to go. This one, I need a pile of doll parts to put somewhere. I need to move all these. Actually, all right, I'm just going to put them. Doll parts. I'll put them over here. All right, so just going to paint up some feet and claws. These are going to be for Shiranui. So all right. Okay. Thanks so much for the likes. All right, so I'm going to paint up Shiranui. So I'm just going to do the blacks on these ones for now. I reckon, yeah, so I'm just going to paint the nose, the mouth, and maybe a little bit of the eyes, not much. Just wanting to extend them, and then I'm going to leave the rest of the markings for when the fur's attached. So this one, it's all baked, ready to go. So I just need to get the first layer of a couple of bits of paint on. So I'm going to be using some black acrylic paint, and then I'm going to be doing a little bit of paint on this one, which will be blue. This is the medieval cat. You love that sculpt, the Shiranui one. Yeah, it's a little bit different from like a regular wolf. It's from the game Okami. If you don't know that game, it's the best game. But yeah, it's a little bit different. It's obviously got my style to it as well, but we'll see how it turns out once it's all put together. And then I've got the feet. So the feet are a little bit more, the markings are a little bit more concaved. You love Okami. It's like my favorite game. Brush. We need a brush. It's my favorite game. How can you not like it? All right, sorry. I don't want to do too much. I'm just going to extend the eyes just a tiny bit, I think. I thought that was your cat. It's a pooping cat. Yeah, fakeodermy. So this one's the pooping cat. Comes with prop poop. But yeah, it's a pooping face. It's based off a silver tabby British short hair. It's part of my new Action Cat series. Alright, so we're just going to go in here. Just a wee bit. And just extend. I just want to extend it a little bit. The black. I'm not going to go, it's not too imperative that I'm neat because I'm going to add faux fur over the top of it. So obviously I have to be neat. Do you let your, this one is polymer clay, so you have to bake it in the oven. I just bake it on a low heat, but any polymer clays you have to bake in the oven. And it's just like your regular oven. It's not a kiln or anything. I don't particularly like using air dry clay because it tends to shrink quite a lot and you sort of end up with cracks. So when you're using an armature, because I use a aluminium foil core, so like this, to sculpt over the top as like a skull, it sort of shrinks and doesn't have anywhere else to shrink to, and it ends up cracking. So I don't particularly like using air dry clay. There's one called artdoll that's supposed to be really good, but yeah, I tend not to use it all that much. All right, so just extended that a little bit. Probably have to use a smaller brush once I put everything on. Thanks for all the likes, guys. And on the mouth area, I'm just trying to be neat here as well, because I'm going to be using white fur, obviously. So if you use darker colors, sometimes it gets a bit of a bleed through. And yeah, so once these are all painted, this doll's ready to be put together. So I like to work on multiple dolls at the same time. So I've got a commission for a Asian elephant that was just born at Columbus Zoo, I believe. And yeah, a customer wanted the baby in an adult form. So I'm in the middle of sculpting it. It's going to be pretty articulated as well. So I'm doing an articulated trunk and ears, as well as the rest of the body. So that'll be fun. I haven't decided. I think I'm going to airbrush the parts. I haven't even thought about how to do the mirror shield. I'll get there. I think I know how I'm going to do like all the streamy bits, but the mirror shield, I have to sculpt it, I think. Like the main shield bit. And then, yeah, I haven't quite decided how to do like the fire and stuff, because I kind of want it translucent, but... And then when I construct the doll, I think I'm going to put a magnet on the back so you can sort of take it on and off. So I've got magnets. Just need to find one that's strong enough to support the mirror. Thanks so much for the likes. Okay. Again, I'll go over this once it's been all put together, but I'm going to take this down a little bit around here. And I mean, they're quite sharp lines, so I don't know the airbrush is going to be good enough, but we'll see. All right, so that's kind of just got to do the nose, and I think I'll airbrush inside the ear. Yep, I'll airbrush inside the ear. I'll do that. All right. So that goes into like a little bit of a peak. Down there. And I'm just using water-based acrylic paint, so it's nothing spectacular, and I usually just do like a base coat to begin with. Thanks, Cherry. I usually just do the base coat to begin with and then smudge it everywhere. And then once I've furred everything and all that stuff, I'll go over it again. It doesn't dry, so polymer clay won't dry in the air. It just sort of starts to go a bit. So when you use polymer clay, it comes in a block, and it's quite crumbly. So you have to condition it to be able to work with it. That's so cool. Oh, thanks. So if you sort of just leave it, it starts kind of crumbly, getting that crumbly texture again. So yeah, it doesn't dry. So yeah, you have to bake it in the oven. So that's kind of the beauty of, putting something down and then coming back to it. It won't go dry. But yeah, air dry clay obviously will dry overnight. You can use something called epoxy sculpt, but that has about a half an hour work time if it's cool temperature wise. If it's hot, you probably got like 15-20 minutes work time, and that will just dry rock hard. But yeah, it's not a lot of work time with it. So, but I mainly use the epoxy sculpt to attach things. So there's that option. It comes in like 2 parts, which you have to mix together, and then yeah, it'll set within, start setting within half an hour with cool weather. So it's not a lot of work time with it. But with polymer clays, there's a lot of different consistency. So you can do hard ones or soft ones. I prefer working with softer clays. I don't really like working with hard clays. That's just my preference. Some people prefer otherwise. So yeah, there's a couple of different options for if you're starting. All right. So just going over the nose here. Again, I'll go back over it once I've applied all the fur because it's obviously not the best coverage. So we have to do 2 coats sometimes. All right. Okay. So that's sort of what we got. Just like to try and get in the little eye socket areas. Extend it out a little bit. This way. Okay. Is the part attached to the neck articulated? Yes, it's a plastic ball and socket armature. So my dolls are fully posable. So they can be posed in all sorts of different directions. The feet are articulated, so the whole thing's articulated. So yeah, I tend to use the smaller size, which is the smaller size. But yeah, I like to make things articulated. A little bit of realism. All right, so these are going to be black as well. So these are the paws that I've sculpted for the Okami doll. And I think I'm going to start. Again, I want to be neat with these ones. But the claws are just plain black. I'm usually pretty, I wouldn't say sloppy, but sloppy when it comes to painting parts, just because I cover things with fake fur, so there's no need to be really neat. But yeah, I want to be a bit neater with these because I don't want the black to show through when I add the white faux fur on it. So I feel like I'm giving it a pedicure. Peticure. That's so cool. Thanks. Thank you for the follow. Much appreciated. And the little toe beans will also be black. So just go over it. So there's like a lot of prep work before I start putting everything together. I've got a couple of things to sculpt as well. Because I have a few dolls that I'm working on. I like to work on about between 5 and 7 dolls at the same time. It's because there's a lot of chopping and changing, waiting for things to dry, waiting for supplies, all that stuff. You thought the cat was real? That's it. Who says it's not real? Super realistic, thank you. Yeah, I basically make fake taxidermy pieces. So here's one of my action cats. I call it Action Cat series, where I make cats doing weird things. Thank you for the follow. So this one is a pooping cat. I also have done a zoomies cat and a yawning cat. So I try to pick a breed to make and make it doing something, basically. So this one's based off a silver tabby British short hair. The zoomies cat is based off a chocolate Burmese. And the yawning cat is based off a Blue Point Siamese. So I got a couple more in mind, but I thought I'd give the cats, made a lot of cats lately, a little bit of a break with this batch, and then next batch I'll do another 3 cats. So the next batch is going to be licking, spewing, and sneezing. So they'll be, I feel like it sounds like the 7 dwarfs. The 7 dwarf cats. Yeah, licking, spewing, and sneezing. So they're going to be nice little actions for them. This live is crap. Again, mate, the last 2 weeks, it's just been awful. This week and last week. Not great. All right. I feel like TikTok introduced this new weird live thing, and I think it's really judgmental over the lives, over the quality of the lives, I should say. It's really weird. And I feel like it's penalizing people that are just, doing a chilled out live, making artwork. It's just not pushing it out like it was a week ago. It's weird. Anywho. If it doesn't push it out in the next, if it's still doing this in the next 10 minutes, I'm going to restart the live. So we don't want to poo-poo live, do we? All right. It's 1. Hey, Wix, how are we? Doing some prep on some dolls so they can be put together soon. It's exciting. Doing the painting on the Shiranui doll just so get them all prepped, ready to be put together. And I think I'm going to restart this live. All right, I'm going to restart the live. What am I doing? Okay, sorry about that. All right, so yeah, once these are dry, I'll start sort of constructing the armature on it. And then it should be, good to put together. So this one's just a doll for my own personal collection. I don't really sell because it's a copyrighted character, but I like the character and I haven't seen a Shiranui doll before, so I wanted to make it. I always wanted to make something from Okami. So yeah, now's the time. I'm trying to make, characters that I like in the last few batches. So yeah, I'm trying to think. I did a little poll between Shiranui and Sea Smoke from House of the Dragon. So Shiranui won by a landslide. But yeah, I'm going to do Sea Smoke after this one. I haven't made a dragon in a long time. So that's going to be a nice little challenge, I think. We'll see how we go with that one. It's quite a complex design, but I'm up for the challenge. So that'll be interesting. Try and make it as articulated as I can. And yeah. I like Sea Smoke's design as well. But I'm trying to think of more characters that I like to make. Something from a video game, I don't know. I don't know that I like something that as much. Get out of the way. All right, one more. And then I'll do a little bit of painting on the medieval cat, just a little bit of blue, I think. It's going to be a blue doll. And then I'll do some sculpting on the elephant head. Thank you for the likes and the follow. Much appreciated. So yeah, I'll try and get this elephant head done, and I might actually do some sculpting on the feet as well. So yeah, it's the first time I've sculpted an elephant, so it's been so long and I've never sculpted one. So there you go. We'll get there. It's always, it's not a challenge, but it's always nice to do something that I haven't sculpted before. It's good to sort of get that experience, sculpting things. So this is going to be like a very new baby, new calf for a customer. Thanks for all the likes. Okay. And then I'm going to be doing the reptile for this batch. I'm trying to add a reptile for each batch because I've neglected making reptiles over the years. So we're challenging myself. So the reptile for this batch is going to be a leopard gecko. Just because I like the skin. I like geckos. They're cool. Who doesn't like geckos? So yeah, I've created the eyes, and I need to sculpt the head. But because the elephant's a commission, it sort of takes precedence over everything else. But yeah, I just had COVID not that long ago. I had no symptoms. I had no symptoms. So yeah, don't know. It's weird how it affects other people. But this is my second time, and the first time equally no symptoms, hardly any symptoms, barely. And this time was like less, and I didn't even know. It wasn't turning up on a test or anything. It's just my partner had it, and he was sick. And I had nothing. Barely. But that sucks. All right. Let's see. Now, put this away. Okay, so for this medieval cat, this one's a little bit weird. It's going to be I'm only doing one medieval cat this time, but it's going to be kind of light blue, because why not? And hey mate, just add a little bit of blue around the eyes. Don't have much of this blue left actually. Again, I'm not being neat with this because I'm going to be covered in hair, in fur. Oh, thank you, Kasha. It's a nice little story to add to my medieval cat stop motions. Oh, thank you for the share. Hey, Cosmic Corner, how are you? Thanks, guys, for the shares. Yeah, it's a bit slow today. A bit slow in the old lives today. Again, as usual. Nothing new. All right. So, get a little bit of blue up here. I'll go over this again once I've added everything together. Oh, that's okay. We all get busy, right? You're good. That's good. All right, a little bit of blue eyeliner. Weird cats, these. Okay. And then I'll try and finish off my elephant So I do a little bit of blue lippage. I'm going to do this fur in white, and then I'll add like a nice, kitty does have a blip. Weird cats. They are weird. I think I'll give it like a really light coat, like a dusting of blue over the body with, I'm thinking stripes too. So it's a combination of Madame Tippy Toes and Duke of Whiskers, hence the Madame Tippy Toes face, Duke of Whiskers tongue. It's a good combination. But yeah, I have been enjoying making the weird cats. No problem. Yeah, I do like a weird cat. How can you not? All right, so a little bit of blue. Okay, so these are ready to be put together, but we want to finish our elephant. So I just painted up the Shiranui. You're watching season 2 of Wednesday. I've never watched it. I've seen people like it, obviously. All right, let's get... Now, I want to add a little bit of wrinkling up the top here, and I might add a little bit more sort of wrinkling and like a little bit. No problem. You think I'd like it? I liked the original Addams Family. I always thought that was good. Okay, so this is going to be the elephant with the trunk, movable trunk. Hence, I'm not sculpting in the trunk. So it'll sort of sit like that. And I'm going to make it out of fabric so you can move it. This one here? Yeah, this is basically what I make. Fake taxidermy pieces. So it starts off with like that as a sculpture and then finishes off in a doll. No problems. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, so this one is the pooping cat. So it comes complete. But yeah, I normally do like fake taxidermy pieces. Fakeodermy. So that's just one of them. It's an example. Thank you. I did 2 other cats as part of this series that I call action cats. So one's a yawning cat, one is a zoomies cat. But yeah, just something a little bit different. All right, so for the wrinkles on the top, what I'm going to do is roll out sort of worms, and I want them to be, I'm going to move this over here. All right. I want them to be semi-flat. So just getting the worm out, rolling a worm. So I want this to sort of sit over the top, and I reckon I should make sort of some line work where I want the fabric to sit, so I know where I'm sculpting. So there, about there. So yeah, I'm going to do the trunk out of fabric so it can move. So I'll try and have it sitting around there. So example trunk. Example trunk. So I'm sort of sitting like that. And then you'll be able to bend it. But yeah, it has to sit. So I want to do the layers. Yeah, so this is going to be, it's a commission for somebody. So they were part of like the birth for the new baby Asian elephant in the Columbus Zoo. So they want to they commissioned an artdoll version of it. So we're making a baby. That sounded really weird. Baby elephant. All right, so put it here. So I'm basically wanting to make some wrinkling here. Yeah. So I've actually never made an elephant before. I've wanted to for a long time, but I wanted to make like an African elephant, like a big male bull. But I mean, I'll still get to it eventually. So this is a little baby Asian elephant. And I found some fabric. I went to the fabric store, found some pretty goods fabric. I hope it takes paint okay, because I just want to like darken some areas up a little bit. So we'll see. I'm going to add just some wrinkling to the top of the trunk. So hopefully that fabric can sit sort of just there under this bit. And it sort of blends in nicely. That makes sense. So it's, while I'm sculpting things, it's not like the same as sculpting a sculpture. Like I have to plan for adding things on top of it. So, and obviously that comes with experience where you know things that you need to add. So if I add faux fur on it, I have to make the heads, areas of the head smaller. So it might look weird while I'm sculpting it. Just because when you add the fabric, it adds bulk to it, so it can sort of put it off, areas looking bigger, not symmetrical. So, yeah. Okay, now let's get. So I'm just adding a couple of wrinkles here. So sort of button it up here. So I'll do some like main wrinkles, and then I'll add in like some more skin texture. So I haven't quite decided if I'm going to add fabric over the whole thing or not, but or just paint it. So I'm not quite sure just yet. Okay, I don't want these too much higher, so I'm going to press it down and just add a little bit here. Looking awesome, thank you. And then I'll add just a little bit more up the top here just to start to sort of taper it off. So I'm using some Sculpey Original to sculpt my pieces. It's a softer clay, so I like working with soft clays. But if I add, bits like tongues or something, I'll use Super Sculpey, which is like a kind of semi-transparent beigey color. So it's great for, inside mouths and stuff. And for teeth, nails, stuff like that, I use translucent Sculpey, which works it's perfect for teeth. Thanks so much for the likes. Much appreciated. So yeah, I was thinking of doing a couple of videos about, what materials I use and all that stuff. I've got a video coming up on, making eyes, just like a little rundown of some eyes. I can show you how, like, one way that I make eyes. I also have a tutorial coming up on how I do the wrinkling. So that's all coming. All right, so we want to add a little bit of, wondering, I should blend all this in first. So basically this is like the foundation for some wrinkling. And I think my camera's flat. Of course it is. So what we're going to do is blend that in. I'm going to get some, I'm just going to change my battery for my camera because I make YouTube videos too and my battery's flat. So should pick up lioness, shouldn't I? All right, back on track. Now, what we're going to do is to create, sort of integrate these wrinkles. I've got a piece of plastic, and this is quite thin plastic. It's not too thin, it's not thick, but it's perfect for creating like a shield for your tool when you scrape over it. So I'm gonna do some pretty harsh ones. And this basically acts as like a shield. So you're not like carving it, you're just sort of dinting it. All right, now some small ones, smaller wrinkles. Okay. And then I want just some sort of skin texture. So I like to go one way and then the other way. And just this is just really lightly. I'll go over it again. I haven't quite finished this sculpt just yet. But it sort of creates the wrinkling a bit better. So when I add the fabric, it'll sort of sit in this bit here. If I can get it in there. Sort of sit in here. I can sort of blend it up a bit better. Like so. Okay, looks good. Now I'm just going to build up around the eyes. So I'll show you guys. I'll show you guys up here on YouTube. That's a little bit of the wrinkling and a little bit of the wrinkling. So that's like obviously where the trunk's going to butt up to. So I'm going to add that skin texture. I think I'm going to paint this because I think the skin texture will look a bit better if it's painted. All right, so now we need to just add to the brow line a little bit up here. And then I want to add a little bit more to the top of the head as well, just to bring that sort of peak up. And then, so for this one, I think I'm going to have to add the bigger armature. So just create a little divot while I haven't got any details up there. Okay. And then for the top of the eye, and want it. I'm going to also add the ears separately as well. It's going to look weird to begin with. Meow. All right, so just going to add that there. And then sort of a bit of a dip here. And and I'll blend in the rest of that. Like so. Okay. Can I buy one? Sure. They are all for sale, and I do offer payment plans. Yeah, link is in my bio. I have a whole range of them looking for homes, including this one, who is arguably one of my favorites. All right. So let's just blend this. So I like to use a silicone tool to blend, like these smaller bits. Otherwise, I like to use my finger. But want a little bit of a brow here. And a little bit of a ridge. And I'm going to build this bit up as well. Okay. All right, next side. Thank you for the follow. Get. Okay. Here is a posable art doll. I'll show you. It's a posable art doll. This is a pooping cat, so comes with very own prop poop. Thanks for the likes. So yeah, it's part of my Action Cat series. So this one's based off the silver tabby British Shorthair. And I usually like pick a breed and then make them into like an action pose, I guess. So this one just happens to be pooping. Grumpy cat. I could make a grumpy cat, but I don't want to like offend anybody either because it's not my cat. All right, so that's looking good. So I want this to kind of curl a little, but it is quite grumpy. I am going to do like a proper grumpy cat. I'll do a proper one. Not like the actual grumpy cat, but a cat that's annoyed. I should do like a cat. Maybe in the next batch. Maybe in the next batch. Alright, so what I want to do now is just build up this head a little bit. So I'm going to do that in 2 parts. And then I reckon I'm going to start doing all the skin texture and sort of try and work out where I want the ears to sit. Because they need to sort of sit back here. And then I'll be able to move them and shit. What? Fake dermal fillers demo? What the hell? Where is it getting that from? It's all weird. Alright, so I'm going to build up this area of the forehead, or the head, the back of the head, I should say. Oh, do I need to restart again? How annoying. I'm going to restart again. Okay. So, I think just to add, flatten this out a little bit. Okay. That. All right. I'm going to smooth it too much because I'm going to add skin texture to it. So a little bit of texture is okay. What's going on, TikTok? All right. That's looking okay. All right. Just going to get this bit out because I don't even know what that is, but it's hard. Get out. All right, so I think we're looking pretty good here. So when I attach the fabric, sort of want it sitting kind of like that there, and then the ears will be here too. The ears will sort of be like that. Yes. All right, and the trunk obviously will be posable. The ears will be here. I think it's looking good. It's looking pretty good. All right, now let's add a little bit of wrinkling. I'm falling off my chair because I always end up sitting on the edge of my chair. Anyway, let's play around with the eyes. I've got really weird eyes. I always look majorly surprised. So yeah, this is the baby elephant. So their eyes always look like they've seen the devil. So I guess try and recreate that. So just pulling that down. Ah, thanks. Clean that up. So cool. Oh, thanks. All right. Baby Asian elephants. Baby elephants. Go a bit down. So try and push this down a little bit. I will add, I reckon I'll add lashes to these too. Elephants have some nice lashes. I have made plenty of unicorns and I've just made 2 lions. There's a female and I don't know where the male is, somewhere. I just finished making the 2 lions. So I put them up in my shop yesterday. Would you believe? But yeah, I've made a few unicorns before. I haven't made one for a while, but I do have a unicorn available. It's a little one. A little pastel one. I've made most things. Most popular things, I should say. All right. I think this side looks okay. Just going to bring this down. Have I made dogs or birds? Yeah, I've made heaps of dogs and I made heaps of birds. Birds I've neglected a lot. But there's like a new technique that I want to try to make the feathers. So yeah, I just need to commit myself to making, pick a bird and make it, so I can test out my my feather making thing. But yeah, I've made a whole heap of different types of dogs too. I need a good picture of an elephant eye. Like a baby elephant eye. Oh, they're creepy. Ugh, they're so creepy. Your grandpa used to practice with taxidermy. Yeah, right. Well, this is fake taxidermy. I couldn't do real taxidermy. All right, so I think for the eye, I will paint it pink, like around the eye. That's kind of why they seem like a bit weird. All right, and I'm just going to bring out this tear duct a little bit. I actually haven't made a turkey before. I don't know if anyone would be into turkeys. A fake turkey. Maybe one day turkeys will get love. All right. Now, I'm going to add... got some reference images. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to the lip. So add I'm going to add a bit of plastic over the top of it, just to sort of start some textures of the lips. So for elephant skin, I sort of like to do a crosshatch scoring, and you can sort of do a few offshoots as well. But, you know, they obviously have like the main ones, and then crosshatch that. And then, you know, a couple of little scrapes here and there. Gonna do some inside the mouth. Don't want the lips to be super neat. So some texture on there. But yeah, I think I will paint this head. I think it would give a bit more realism to it than just putting the fabric over the top. I have a vision. All right, so do like the main strokes. Some thin ones just for the texture. The lip. Okay, now underneath. Right, so I want the ears to go above here. One there. One there. Okay. This is okay. All right. All right, I'm just going to go over this eye area just one more time on some pretty harsh lines in here. Got my plastic and just go over. So cross hatch in a different direction. It's like bird wars going on outside. All sorts of birds yelling at each other. Okay. Blend that in just a little bit more. Kind of looks a bit like a bag. Don't want a bag. All right. We've got some wrinkling going on here. All right. There. Do a little bit on the top here. That's one heart. Give me a second, TikTok. All right. Yep. Okay. Let's do a little bit on the other side. Okay. It's a bit of wrinkling. All right, put the wrinkling on the top now. The top, a little bit of wrinkling. Goes this way, I think. Not much. Alright. Then we'll finish up the trunk. So the trunk. Some pretty good lines already. Alright. There's some elephant head so far. Now, so I probably will paint this rather than put the fabric on top. So hence the reason why there's no trunk. Trunk will be like this. Ears will be like this. Like so. I think it's gonna look good. All right. I think it's looking good and it should be ready for baking, I reckon. All right. So here's our elephant head so far. So this will be baked as is. I've added all the texture. What is this creature? Oh, you see the vision now. Yeah, it's an elephant. Mm-mm. So it's going to have a posable trunk, hence why there's no trunk sculpted onto it. So I'm going to add the fabric sort of as an example, sort of over the top of the trunk like this. Obviously it'll pose a bit better than that, and sort of integrate it onto there, if that makes sense. And then as for the ears, I'm also going to do the same thing with the ears. So I'm going to attach them here. So you can see the vision. It's you can see what it's going to be. Let's just go over this again, and then it'll be ready for baking. All right. That is the elephant. Oh, cute. Thank you for the follow. All right, I think I'm happy with the eyes. I think it's going to be good. Looking forward to putting this one together. So what I've got to do for this is sculpt the feet, and then it'll be ready to put together. Anyway, ta-da! Hopefully that's the right angle. It should be the right angle. Anyway. All right, so that is going to be it from me today. TikTok, and I don't know if I'm going to be on tomorrow. Maybe, possibly not. I don't know. But if I am, it'll be from 12:30 to 2-ish. So join me then. I know I do have to go. I have a 2-year-old who is awake now. I've been on since 12:30, before 12:30, and no one was in here. And now, of course, when I'm just about to jump off, people come on. It's usually how it goes. But I don't have much time these days. So, but we did Shiranui. That's ready to be put together, so that's exciting. You'll check it out if you remember, no problem. So I'll try and bake this so it's all ready to go. In the meantime, hopefully I'll be on tomorrow. And yeah, let's do a little bit more texture here before I go. A bit more forehead texture. Silicone tools. Silicone tools are quite good. Anyway, all right. No problem. Catch you guys later. YouTube, catch you.